In this video, I'm going to make a cinematic and action wallpaper in Photoshop. I'm also going to show you how to make rain effect by yourself. Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to teach you how I made this cool and cinematic wallpaper in Photoshop. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. Here we are in the Photoshop. First of all, I dragged in this soldier image and masked him out using Subject Selection tool. As always, it worked just fine. Then I manually fixed its edges using Brush tool. Then I dragged in another soldier image and masked him out using Subject Selection tool, and I fixed its edges. I did the same thing with third soldier as well, masking him out. Then I determined the right position for them. Then I dragged in this sky image and determined the right position for them as well. Then I made the sky darker using levels and reduced its saturation at all using hue and saturation. Then I made it bluish using color balance. Then I blended the soldiers with the environment as well, using levels and color balance as well. Then I softly painted some smoke between the soldier using solid color. I also painted some haze in the background using solid color. To add some thunder effect, I used white solid color and using blend if I removed it from darker areas. Then I manually painted it to some spots using brush tool. I also painted some shadows to the soldier using exposure. To add highlights to the soldiers, I used solid color. I clipped it with the soldier layer and using blend if I removed it from darker areas. Then I manually painted the highlights using brush tool. Now I removed levels from darker areas using brush tool to make highlights more brighter. I did the same thing with other soldiers as well. Then I dragged in this bush image and removed its white part using blend if, and I determined the right position for it. I blended it with environment using levels and color balance. Then I copied them to fill the rest area. Then I dragged in another bush image and did the same thing with it as well. I added a field blur effect to the bushes to make them look like they are closer to the camera. Now it's time to add the rain effect. I took a new layer and made it black, then I add mezzotint effect to it. Then I added path blur effect to it. As you can see, it started looking like rain. Then I set its blending mode to screen. Then using levels, I increased the blacks. This will remove some raindrops. Now to add some depth, took another layer, made it black, and added a mezzotint effect, then added a path blur. This time I added some more speed. Then I made it a bit bigger to make them look like they are closer to the camera. Then I took another layer and made it black, added a mezzotint effect and path blur. This time I added more speed than the previous one. Then I made it more bigger to make it look like these drops are more closer to the camera. And I add some field blur to it. I paint the raindrop splash using brush tool to make it look like the raindrops are touching the soldiers. To make the soldiers look like wet, I added plastic warp effect to the soldiers. Now I'm going to add some effects. Now I'm going to add a camera raw. Well, that's it for this video. If you want to download this wallpaper, you can have it. I'll provide you the link in the comments. If you learned or enjoyed anything from this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It motivates me to make more content for you guys. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.